This happened back in 2016 on the very last day of school. I was in the ninth grade, just weeks away from summer break. You know that chaotic, euphoric feeling when everyone's high on the thought of freedom? That was the vibe. Laughter in the halls, locker slams, final hugs, and of course, yearbook madness. Everyone was begging each other for signatures and scribbled notes like we were never going to see each other again, even though most of us lived in the same town. Now, my school wasn't small. We had nearly 1,200 students in the building, so yearbook signing turned into a bit of a logistical nightmare. To save time, our homeroom teachers had us hand in our yearbooks, and they'd be passed from classroom to classroom throughout the day. A cool idea in theory, but kind of risky. It meant anyone could sign your yearbook, even people you didn't know. Most messages were typical: stay cool, have a great summer, see you next year, nerd. But one stood out. I was flipping through the pages in the cafeteria after the final bell rang, laughing at the inside jokes people had written when I saw it. Dead center on the back inside cover was a message in red ink. Save a seat, you'll see me soon. Signed, Elias J. Moore. Thing is, I didn't know an Elias Moore. Not in my grade, not in any club, not in the school, period. I even asked a couple of friends and they looked at me like I was joking. No one recognized the name. I chalked it up to a prank, maybe someone being edgy. You know how teens are, trying to be mysterious for attention. So I just moved on. That night, I had a couple of friends over to celebrate summer. Just a low-key thing, pizza, video games, and way too much soda. It was me, Ryan, Will, and Jaden. We camped out in the living room because my parents had gone to visit my aunt. So we had the whole house to ourselves. It was around 1:30 in the morning when things got weird. We were halfway through a match of Halo when the power cut out. TV, lamps, everything just went dark. Now, my neighborhood doesn't usually have outages, especially not in summer. But again, no big deal. We lit a few candles and joked about summoning spirits or whatever. But then we heard it. 3 slow knocks on the front door. Knock, knock, knock. We froze. None of us were expecting anyone, and we live on a cul-de-sac. No traffic, no foot traffic. Just quiet homes and trimmed lawns. Ryan, being the idiot he is, shouted, "Who is it?" No response. We waited in silence, hearts racing. Jaden whispered that maybe it was a neighbor or someone who needed help. I wasn't buying it. I crept toward the front door and peeked through the side window. There was someone standing under the porch light. Tall, wiry, hood up, just standing there, completely still, hands by his sides like he was waiting for something. And here's where it gets strange. He wasn't looking at the door, he was staring directly at the side window where I stood, like he knew I'd be there. That's when he raised a hand and waved at me. I ducked out of sight and whispered to the guys, "There's someone out there." Ryan ran up to the window and peeked. "Dude, he's just standing there smiling." Will was already grabbing his phone to call the cops, but we realized something odd. Our phones had no service, no Wi-Fi either. I don't know if it was a coincidence or if this guy had done something, but it freaked us all the way out. We huddled in the hallway, arguing about what to do. Then we heard the back door creak. It wasn't fully closed. The screen door swayed slowly, creaking in rhythm with the wind, or something else. Jaden ran over to slam it shut and lock it, but when he looked through the kitchen window, he froze. He said, "Guys, he's not in the front anymore." That chill that runs down your spine when something's really wrong, that hit all of us at once. We turned all the lights off and hid in the guest bedroom at the back of the house. We didn't speak, just sat there listening, hearts pounding in the silence. And then, footsteps on the wood floor, inside. I remember holding my breath for so long that my vision blurred. I was sure this was it, but nothing happened. The footsteps stopped. No doors opened, no windows shattered. We waited. Eventually we got the courage to check the house. Nothing, no broken locks, no signs of entry, but something had changed. My yearbook, which had been left in my backpack on the dining room table, was now sitting open in the hallway. It was turned to the back cover. That same message in red ink had been underlined. "Save a seat, you'll see me soon." And right underneath it, a new line had been added, "I'm already here." We completely lost it. We packed our stuff and ran to Ryan's house 2 streets over. His mom thought we were drunk or pulling a prank, but let us stay the night anyway. When I got home the next morning, my parents were back. I told them everything. They called the police, of course, but there was no sign of forced entry. Nothing was taken, nothing was damaged, just that message. My parents asked the school about Elias J. Moore. That's when things got even stranger. The school had no record of any student by that name, past or present. No enrollment history, no student ID, nothing. But when they pulled out a fresh copy of the yearbook and flipped to the student portraits, there he was, page 42, second row, a kid with dark eyes and a blank stare. No smile, no quote, just his name, Elias J. Moore. I felt sick. I had flipped through that yearbook a dozen times and never noticed him there. They said he must have been an old student who dropped out early. But that made no sense. The photos were taken just 2 months ago. Even weirder, a few days later, the yearbook printing company claimed they had no record of submitting that name or photo. Their original file showed a blank space where Elias's photo now appeared. The whole thing was quietly brushed under the rug. School officials called it a printing error. My parents called it a prank, and I just stopped talking about it. But I never threw the yearbook away, and every so often when I look at that page, his photo changes. Sometimes he's smiling, sometimes he's frowning, and once, I swear to God, he was looking directly at me. People say ghosts are memories or regrets, but what if they're just waiting for a name to be spoken, a door to be opened, a seat to be saved?